So what is Create Aeronautics? Well, it expands on Create to allow you to build cars, boats, planes, and all sorts of interactive physics objects in ways that actually force you to design the mechanics and how you interact with it, rather than just placing a controller block down and calling it a day. Which is not to say there's anything wrong with Archimedes ships, but this is just a bit cooler. As someone who, and I know it doesn't make me at all unique, always loved building contraptions as a kid, I figured a fun challenge would be to build a functioning version of one of my cars, a 2018 Ford GT, in Minecraft, using Create Aeronautics, and then drive it around a racetrack, also in Minecraft. Although, I have been on a track in the real thing too. Let's give it a go. So at its core, the base Create mod is about creating rotation and then using that rotation to power whatever it is that you feel like building, whether it's a conveyor belt to transport items or a drill to break blocks that you put in front of it. Many of you have probably put in many hours on this and you're very familiar, but with Create Aeronautics, it gives you the ability, well, as you saw in the trailer, like vehicles, planes, all that cool stuff, but it all rests on one core feature enabled by this block, the first one in the whole list of new things, called the physics assembler. So I'm going to put down what's currently an ordinary brass block, but then on top of it, I'm going to put the physics assembler and pull the lever, cronk, and now our ordinary brass block is actually a physics body. You can actually delete the assembler, and then if we use our creative physics staff, I can actually pick this thing up and kind of like gravity gun yeet it. And if that didn't look super impressive, let's give it a little bit of rotation and then maybe give it a little chuck so you can see it respond to physics just a little bit more as it hits the ground. There we go, it rolls along. Okay, but perhaps even more impressive than that is that you'd think, okay, so we just have like one thing that could be used as a ball in Rocket League. I mean, that's cool, but the sulfur cubes just got added to Minecraft, right? So I can actually add to this while it is still a physics body. And we can continue to build it out and still it all stays together. How about a plunger launcher? You can just shoot plungers at things. Oh, you can take this, attach it there, and take you, attach you there, triangulate, and create a little mechanical bull ride. This is way more challenging than you think. Oh, there we go. He's staying on. My record is 1 second. I'm getting distracted from building a car. Okay, let's build a car. Welcome, everybody, to Silverstone Raceway in the UK, in Minecraft. I didn't build this. It's originally made as an ice boat track, so we're going to be driving on ice, which will be an added challenge. But first, we must build the car. Wow, it's the McLurkin garage. It's so coincidental. They match my Logitech A50X McLaren Edition headset. How cool. Hashtag sponsored Captain Sparkles. Okay, I know Ford doesn't directly participate in Formula One, but they do work on the Red Bull power unit, so it's close enough, right? Okay, despite the fact that we have all the pit garages here, I think this might be a little small for the detail we're going to need to make in the George GT. So instead, we're going to opt to work in an open field. For our basic color palette, we have carbon fiber, Miami blue, black, window, brake light. So the first thing we want to do is just basically make a skateboard. And so I don't screw this thing up from the very beginning. I've kind of settled on an approximate size where the wheelbase of this thing is going to be 18 by 9. Always got to be odd and width. So 1, 2, 3, 17, 18 by 9. And we're going to make a skateboard of that size, and the entire underbody of the vehicle is carbon fiber. So I'm hoping that our carbon fiber equivalent here is not going to be like way too heavy, because they do take that into account, I think. That car is going to be a bit big. It's going to take up the whole track, but we want detail. In order to complete our skateboard, we need to add some wheels. You do have 4 different sizes to choose from, so if you just want a small little thing to race against your friends on a track like this, you can choose the small tire. But again, we're going for Lego Technic sorts of details, so we need a larger scale. The way that you actually put these on, though, is you use these wheel mounts, and you can get a bunch of info on how to control them when you hold shift. But let's put one in each corner, and then you just click the wheel onto it. And now we have some wheels on our skateboard that will turn into a cool car, hopefully. There we go. That is our basic skateboard done. And dude, it's really crazy. Like, you can even adjust the spring rate on these things. Like, that's how much technical detail they've gone into. However, this is still not a physics object, so we gotta do that. So with Create Aeronautics, you get this new item called honey glue to be able to stick big block portions together. I don't entirely know all the differentiation between it and the super glue, which has always existed, but for everything, you can always go into Ponder by holding W if you want more information. And I think that's one of the coolest things about Create in general. But anyway, we're going to use the honey glue in order to select the whole thing and make a physics object. And you can adjust by looking at the face that you want to change the size of and scrolling up or down so that we can expand this out to where we want it to be. There we go. So that should be the entire thing. And now the final step is we just pop our physics assembler on, pull the lever crank, and we should see the suspension settle. Woohoo! So we should, in theory, now have this whole thing be its own physics object that we can drive if we put some rotation into our little wheel hubs here. So shall we try something super basic just to make sure everything is actually all together and give it some drive? So you have options. If you're playing in survival mode, right, you can use one of the portable engines in order to do this. For our sake, I'm probably going to use Creative Motors. It'll just make things a little bit more straightforward. But we've got our little engine here. I've never made a physics object this big, so I don't know if this thing is going to have struggles with torque. However, if we just do this, we're going, we're moving, we've got liftoff. It's not going terribly quickly. However, it is working. But we have no way to, like, stop or control anything, so we got to build in a bunch of systems to allow that to happen. But before we get into actually making the drivetrain for the car, I want to start to put together a basic outline of what the body is going to look like, so that way I can have, you know, the engine in the location the engine's supposed to be. I can have the interior and the seats where those are supposed to be, and nothing is out of place that I'm going to have to change out later. So it's time for design work, my strongest suit. Luckily, the real thing exists, so I can just, well, try to copy it. I think I'm going to expand the rear axle one block in each direction. Oh, God. Wait, I'm going to collapse my car. Oh, frick. Oh, no. Wait, the other one. Oh, God. Gah. Here goes nothing. Hey, it springs right back up. How nice. Okay. Good as new. So one of the, I think, signature design elements of the Ford GT are the flying buttresses that you can see through out the back, or vice versa. So we got to figure out how we can keep that despite the large block size with Minecraft. Okay, now it's not fully complete, but the way you know you're on the right track is if the rear end looks a little bit like an Angry Birds pig. And I think that means we're on the right track. But I mean, with one side mostly done here, I feel like it gives us at least the proportions and where we're gonna put the interior. We gotta shove all of the drivetrain components into this rear area here, so it looks like when you're looking through the glass, you're actually seeing the engine. Oh yeah, it should probably also have some mirrors that definitely work as mirrors. Okay, first, I guess before we get further, let me make sure that it's still able to move very slowly. I'm not entirely sure why. It looks like we have a bit of a flat tire, like we're leaning a bit here. I don't know why that's happening. Oh God, before we rear end the wall. Huh. Why are we leaning? Oh my God, I just realized why it's leaning. It's because there's more weight on the side that I've kind of completed versus this. Oh, dude, it's actually calculating that. That's so crazy. So let's say the interior and the seats, the firewall is right here. So that gives us this area back here to put the whole drivetrain in. So now we got to get into some car talk, all right? But the cool thing is, if you've played Create before and you've used a clutch, which allows you to start and stop the rotation of an output when the input is still spinning, you understand what a clutch is inside of a car. So because when this motor is placed down, like, it's always spinning, we can't really stop it. I mean, there might be a way with Create to do it. We want it spinning forward, so let's spin it forward like that. But what we want to have is a way to start and stop it from driving the wheels, right? So that, you know, the car isn't just always going forward, because that would be a little inconvenient. So we put a clutch here, and then we switch it. This is like, you know, you're in a manual transmission. It's a little less on and off than this. You'll stall the car if you do it this quickly, but you're moving, and then you're stopped. So now if we connect the whole thing together, then we should be able to start and stop the movement of a really, really heavy Ford GT that's made entirely out of large stone. But don't worry, I'm sure if we crank this up to maximum speed, we'll be able to really get going here. But I don't want to do that yet. In fact, what I think might be nice to do is use one of the new blocks with Create Aeronautics to make it so we can control how much power we're actually able to give this thing, right? So if you want to see how this guy works, we release the clutch, right? And because there's no redstone signal applied to this, it's just spinning freely. However, we can, this is really cool, dude. This is such a cool little block that they've added. The throttle lever, kind of like just the regular Create level levers that you can like keep incrementing the signal. But you can see now, even though this output is spinning the same, this gear in here, now that I've given it full signal, it slows down. So what we can do with this basically is that we can set our motor here to be like absolutely cranking, and then we can decide how much of that crankage we actually want to send through into the wheels. And you could adjust this on the fly to like give yourself a gas pedal. That would be very complicated. I'm like I don't know how you would do that, but it'll give us, you know, basically a top speed modulation. So now let's get it connected, because the belts have to be on like either horizontal, vertical, or 45 degrees. We have to bring this up more. So I'm going to go here into there. And now let's bring that back. Then we can release this. We'll start moving. And then if I want to risk running into the wall, we can let her rip. I haven't added brakes yet, but here goes nothing, I guess. All right, we're moving. We're moving. It's okay. It's gonna take a bit to accelerate, but there we go. Okay. Oh God, it's got inertia. Oh, slow down, slow down. We're entering the racetrack though, so you know we're getting into position. But now it's like, okay, so we're getting too close to the racetrack. If there's any cars going around here, like we're gonna be obstructing traffic. That's oh my God, we're gonna get flagged, dude. We gotta get a reverse gear in, otherwise we're gonna be in trouble by the stewards. I had to squeeze this back under because everything has to fit in the engine bay to look pretty. So we've got our setup here, and now all we have to do to add a reverse gear is add a gear shift. So now shaft out of that and then connect here. And what happens is, once again, if we apply a signal here now, we can reverse the direction. So let's make it a little bit slow. Do that. We should start spinning forward, but now it's like, let's start reversing it. Give it a little bit more beans here, going backwards. And now look at us go, dude. We're freaking reversing. But of course, like, all right, everything is like really, really manual right now. And also I have no steering and no brakes. So like we have to get this whole system to be something that I can operate sitting in a nice comfy seat. So there's a couple ways we can make this all work from the front seat. One of them, a little bit more complicated, and that's the typewriter. Everyone knows you should bring a typewriter with you when you're going to go drive your car. This guy's new with Create Aeronautics, allows you to do a whole bunch of controls and stuff using a typewriter. Very technologically advanced. For our purposes, though, with the car, we can use the link controller, which it'll just be a little bit more simple. But for example, like with the gear shift here, all we got to do is put a redstone link on. We'll assign it to the gear shift channel, set it into receive mode with the wrench. And then what we're going to do is like right click on it with our link controller. And then with the gear shift, that's going to be having to do with reversing. So I'd assign that to S, right? And now if I go into here, every time I hit S, it's operating that, and it's causing the gear shift to turn on, so it'll basically send us into reverse gear after I also link this up to the clutch. So the most important thing is probably just moving, right? So for that, we need to work with the clutch. So when the clutch is deactivated, that means we're going, but we only want to go when we're hitting the button. So it means we need to invert it, right? So we're gonna put a redstone torch right there so that the default state is for it to be shut off, on, it's inverted, you get the idea. But then what we want to do is we want to put a redstone link onto the other side of here, and we will put that into a clutch channel, set it to receive, and then if we bind our link controller and put that into W, I disconnected the motor because I obviously didn't want this to be just flying in the process, but we got our motor spinning, right? Moment of truth. After going into the controller, hey, there we go. It's not going super fast, but that's only because I haven't set this to full bore. I'll do that after steering is in. Okay, so next up with reverse, we're going to do 2 redstone links. One that's going to go to the clutch, and then one that's going to go to the gear shift. So it's going to spin it backwards. And now, do we have a reverse gear? Huh? Oh my God, would you look at that? We got reverse. It's got some inertia to it. Okay, this is the problem with the fact that it does weight calculations is when you try to make a realistic looking car, you got to make it big. And then, yeah, it's just, but actually, you know what? Now that we have forward and reverse, I mean, we can just say, hey, give it the beans. That's the beans. But we don't have steering. We have to navigate our way around the track. All right, luckily, the wheel mounts have some built-in controls. When powered from the top, it's brakes. We already got a reverse gear to give us brakes, so we don't have to worry about that. No brakes needed anyway. You think this is real life? But when powered from the side, it steers the wheel toward the side the signal is from. So we'll have to do a little bit of guess and check here. But ideally, like if I just put a redstone signal here, yeah, it's going to turn. Now, you can have this be incremental, right? Like you do the throttle and then you're like, oh, there's some gradual turning. Except when it comes to remotely operating the gradual turning, that gets tricky. So for our purposes, it'll be on and off. Redstone link here, over here. Otherwise, we're going to not really be doing much in the way of steering. We're just going to be pizza and French frying, which isn't that great for driving. And then there we go. And now, if we do another keybind on this guy to D, there we go. Look at that. We got ourselves some steering. All right. And now Big Cogger's Champion on the other side. Bind it to A. And now, everybody, we've got full on. Everything is working, I think. Are you ready? Oh my God, we got steer. We got steer. Wait, we got steer in the other direction. Holy frick. Oh my God. Wait, once we're on the ice, bro, I'm going to start drifting like crazy. Should I enter the circuit? I'm gonna, oh God, I don't have grip on the ice. Oh no, I'm understeering. It's bad. Dude, as soon as I reach one of these corners, oh, it's not gonna be good. I'm not sure that ice was the call. I'm gonna be honest. We got no traction. I need the studded, look, it's spinning, dude. What the frick? Oh, dude. Oh God, oh God. Oh, oh no. Oh no. Oh, he's crashed. He's crashed. Oh, God. Where are my freaking winter tires and chains when I need them? Well, now I think it's time to try to beautify the whole thing. And then I want to see if I can add some final touches of functional elements. Hold on, I feel like we need to go complete this in our starting garage area. So I'm just going to pick up my very large car, rotate it a little bit, and just drop it down over here. Okay, so that's I think the exterior mostly done. I mean, it's not perfect, but at least the rear looks very Angry Birds. It's leaning a bit though, and I want to actually see if we can use the spring rates and make the rear stiffer and the front softer in order to like level it out, maybe. Okay, so I'm assuming softer lower number means that'll sink. Maybe a bit too much. Let's try 8, and then maybe at the back. Okay, nice. Much better. Man, if you could like remotely activate that, you could even add the suspension lifter on the car, couldn't you? You know, I was gonna build an interior, and then I realized if I add that much extra weight, this thing's probably not gonna move. I need to be reducing weight, not adding it. I can just not have a floor. Wait, are you ready? Are you ready? Hold on, wait a minute. And... so it's still its own little physics object. Oh, what have I done? No, stop. Oh my God. Now that's weight savings. I wonder if it made a difference. And I wanna test. All right, let's see. So here we go. It's hard to tell. I think it's still pretty heavy for the most part, but I'm gonna just say in my head that it definitely made a difference. Okay, so one more thing that I want to do here. Actually, 2 more things I want to do. This car has active aero. It's got a wing that goes up and down. I want to see if I can do that. And then I had to break out the door to get in. Wouldn't it be cool if we could add a door? For making a door, there is this thing called the torsion spring. But the issue that I'm running into here and thinking about it is I don't know if you can make like a sub-physics object on your existing physics object. So I'm gonna have to try this and see what happens, like just out of curiosity. I think I need a bearing here, like a mechanical bearing. So I'm just building on the roof as a test because it'll be part of the existing physics object. So in order to get the torsion spring to go back and forth, you need to be able to reverse the rotation. So we'll get a gear shift there, put the torsion spring on top, mechanical bearing on top of that, and then this will be our door, which I'm gonna try to glue together and see if it does anything. So if I reverse that... Okay. 2 things there. Well, 1, that didn't work. And 2, why it's set to 90. Why is it doubling the rotation? I have no idea why, but if we set it to 45, will that just work fine? But I might have a solution for this because... No, I dented my car! In all of the like trailer and stuff, obviously they have like sails and stuff that are spinning independently of the rest of the physics objects. So like we might just be able to use sails, and will that work? Ah, there we go. Now we're talking. So I might just, hey, lightweight doors. Now I just have to figure out, am I going to do it horizontal or vertical, which is a conundrum for this because the doors on the Ford GT don't go out or up, but they go more of a diagonal. They're called butterfly doors. And that means there isn't a way with Create to exactly mimic them. So we have to decide. I'm gonna go vertical. It'll look cooler. Let's build our door mechanism. Isn't it nice we don't have to worry about a pesky interior? We don't have to hide the mechanism, worry about putting it underneath the upholstery. It'll just be out. And it'll be awesome looking. It's gonna be panel gaps, but you know, when you look at it from the sides, you're not really gonna notice. Hold up, just go in. We're gonna set up a redstone link, but oh my God, the doors have chopped my mirror off. We'll just anchor the mirror 1 forward, then it'll work just fine. And then all we gotta do is let's hook this up to some redstone links. And that way what we can do is we can actually put the door handle exactly where the door handle is on the real thing. Huh? But the doors, I mean, come on. Hold on. Come on, man. Come on, look at that. All right, and then, oh my goodness. It might slightly look like we got T-boned and there is some body damage to repair, but we got a freaking door and the doors go up. Oh, that's so sick. Look at that. Look at that. And then we do it on the other side. And now the moment of truth. Oh. Oh. I've added air jacks to my car. Let's try that again. Ah, much better. We've got 2 functioning doors. The levers might be in different positions. Yeah, but that's fine. Okay, so I don't know how I would get the glass to go with. So either I don't have windows or I just duck under the glass in order to get inside. I do need a way to close them once I'm in, though. That'll do the trick. Right now, we're faced with what is arguably the most important task, which is the active wing. I really want this to work. So my idea here is we're going to use these sticky mechanical pistons and probably sails, because I don't think we can attach regular blocks together, in order to make a wing that goes up and down, and I can press the button while I'm in the cabin at my seat. So we got this guy here, and then it says, unable to assemble, missing some extension poles. So that's why we have these guys, which are a little ugly, but they'll be able to hide behind the body panels. And then I think if we... There we go. And then the faster this guy rotates, the faster that things will happen. Yeah, okay, this could work. And then, I mean, it's going to work here, but I think if we use sails, and the reason why sails are actually going to be cool is because this way we can have the wing like kind of sitting flush over the, not exactly flush, but like sitting over the body panels without looking like it's an extra block up. And then, yeah, hey, look at that. All right, proof of concept. Luckily, we do have a lot of real estate down here to set up our hydraulic wing situation. Okay, so let's have our pistons sit one below, and then we have to power them both simultaneously in the same direction. I'm gonna have to revise our bumper here. Because that's gonna be sticking out through it, that's where our license plate is gonna go. Okay, so we got rotation going. Now we make it a little bit faster just so it operates quicker when we send it in. And then do that. There it goes. All right. And then making sure that the sails are still going to work here, hopefully. But let's see. And then we'll redstone link it, of course. Okay. A little tricky there. It went down with a bit of lag. Right? Oh. Uh-oh. It didn't appreciate that very much. Okay, well, here's the thing. So the wing operates great with just one piston. I think the problem is having 2 synchronized sticky pistons. Let's try a non-sticky, and maybe it won't do stupid things. Let's see. Huh? Goes up. Can you stop doing that? I got it. I just had to switch the sticky and the non-sticky for some reason. It's not perfect. Like, this doesn't stay in full contact as it goes up. But honestly, close enough. And then we can speed it up even more so it just, like, freaking pops up. Dude, let's freaking go. Come on. Come on. And then like that. It's also actually kind of like the real thing. You can see the mechanism a bit. I just noticed in my trial and error, I might have pushed the butt down. And now for some finishing touches. Oh, look at that right there. Look at that. Okay, I may need to actually give myself some sort of location in the interior in which I can sit to be able to like see out the windshield and stuff. Seems like it might be important. I could just, you know what? We're gonna McLaren F1 center seat this guy here. It's gonna be sick. I might need to give myself a little bit more of a booster seat because I'm. There we go. Now I'll be able to see over the steering wheel. And then, dude, I gotta add rear wing deployment like within reach right here, like so. And then, oh my God, look at this. Oh, we can go up and we can go down. Oh, we can control it from the cockpit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wait. Hold on. I gotta close the door behind me. Oh, buddy. Oh, hold on. We gotta do a whole, like, we gotta enter this guy. We gotta do a whole sequence of entering in. Here in my garage, just got this new Ford GT here. Fun to drive around Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. I'm just gonna take you for a little ride here. First, I'm really short, so I have to like kind of climb up to get in, but you know, it's got the doors that open up, which is pretty cool. And then, you know, you just get in here and then like, you know, shut the door behind us. Let's hop in the driver's seat and get ready to take a ride here. I feel like first though, let's make sure we deploy that active aero as we're going around the track. And then there goes nothing, everybody. Here we go! Engage maximum power onto the circuit. The ice is really gonna frick this up for us. It's trying. It's a heavy car. All right. We're understeering a little bit. I can't believe they covered the track in ice. I guess they were going to be doing some kind of holiday Silverstone on ice extravaganza. And so the ice skaters, they were just here and they just haven't removed it yet. It was really the only time I could book this place. It's very popular and I'm going to crash. I'm going to crash before. Oh, God. Oh, there he goes. He's avoided the crash. God, he's so good at driving. He's really almost crashing. He's really close to crashing. All right, he's really just stalled out on the track, so the pit crew is now going to come in and relocate the vehicle so that it can be moved to a place where it can actually function. I think after that, it's become clear that the removal of the floor and not building out an interior didn't do much to affect performance, so I will try to beautify it. I also realized I forgot to add headlights. And there we have it. I mean, we had to make a couple of changes, relocate the door handles so that I could have actually completed seats. But other than that, yeah, a bit of safety hazard with the footwells, but it's fine. I have small legs, so they can kind of, you know, work around. It is a very small footwell in the actual thing. Speedometer, use your imagination, and then nothing like a steering wheel where a steering wheel should go, and then a seat that blends in with the interior. You might wonder how my legs reach the pedals. It's magic. Well, let me show you the outside for our finishing touch. Perhaps the most important thing. We got to add the Ford badge. This right here, gonna be a very realistic one. Look at that. Ford. You can read it right there. And that's a pretty aesthetically complete vehicle right there. Look, you look into the engine bay, and instead of a void where you can see through to the ground, you got some freaking components going on in there. Look at that. And then you get in. Oh, man, what a sporty looking interior. And then you can still, you know, wing up. Oh, my. The whole double piston thing back here is really finicky, but it did remind me that I need to put a license plate frame area. There we go. All right, beautiful. Now that covers up the whole spot where the piston arms go into. That's a pretty completed Ford GT right there. It may not be fast, but it's a Ford GT. All right, let's bring this bad boy into the infield where we got some grip. Shout out to Technoblade and actually get a test drive in. Wouldn't it be cool if this could actually control the steering? I'm sure there's a way to do it, but definitely not as easy as just using your arrow keys. And away we go. We're vroom, and look at that engine. Look at that baby purr right there. Oh my goodness. It's so realistic. That's exactly what the engine bay looks like when you're driving the car. In fact, it can be really practical to be able to see the engine bay when you're driving, because sometimes what happens is you look in the rearview mirror and you see that oil is spraying out of the sump because the hose disconnected. This is a true story. This happened right after I got the car. It's been fine since. But if I hadn't been able to see it in the rearview mirror, then it wouldn't have been great. Because then it would have just lost all of its oil, and that would have been bad for the engine. You know, maybe it was a little faster when we got rid of the whole floor, which is exciting to note. We've been able to try this in 2 different race trims, lightweight mode and full heavyweight mode, but man, does it look good in heavyweight mode. Okay, I'm sure some of you are itching to actually see something that operates at a good speed. So I'm gonna quickly whip up a teeny little buggy, but one that'll actually go quick. Here in my garage, just got this new cardboard blob here. Fun to drive around significantly faster than my GT. Oh boy, now we're moving. Now I bet you, actually I'm not sure if this guy, God, it is unwieldy. It's really unwieldy with the steering. I'm not entirely sure. Oh God, okay, it's not stable, but we are drifting. Oh, can he hold it together? Why are there water barriers in the road? This is just a terrible thing to have put into the middle of a racetrack. This is going to clearly cause any cars to get obliterated. We made it up the obstacle. Oh God, he's losing it. He's keeping it together. Oh my goodness, there's another awful, terrible obstacle up there. If I pitch backwards though, maybe, let me up. Yeah, come on. Yep, you can do it. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Wait, can we even, oh my God, we can catch air. We can off-road. It's amazing how the vehicle that looks nowhere near as cool is actually significantly more functional. It's almost like real life where the cars that are cheaper and don't look quite as cool are actually just far more practical. And I'm actually breaking the racetrack right now. I'm breaking the racetrack. Oh God, I'm about to flip. Well, red flag on the course, everybody. And on that terrible note, our driver has died. It's time for us to end. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you would like to see more contraptions being built here with Create Aeronautics. This was fun. And I'll see you next time.